100 NFL players. I threw in that I believe Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes, something I've said repeatedly on this show. In this ranking, Mahomes was number 1. Jalen Hurts was the second highest quarterback at number 3. And Joe Burrow was number 4. But Keyshawn took offense to my declaration, saying if I were a GM and I took Burrow over Mahomes, I'd get fired.
You would.
They drug tested.
Yeah.
Then we had to go to break.
And drug tested.
So Keyshawn,
they would drug testing.
now we have plenty of time for you to
It's true.
explain to me
Just
why
get out of here. We're not even
Mahomes
gonna
is better
bother.
than
You're
Burrow,
clearly on
because
drugs.
I don't think you can, but be my guest.
Come on, man. Like, first of all,
let's just not even have this
discussion. But I'm gonna try. So when you think about it, we measure Super Bowls. I mean, quarterbacks by Super Bowls. Well, Patrick Mahomes has 2. He's been 3.
Yep.
Joe Burrow's been once. He has 0.
Okay.
Let's just stop there.
All right.
Now I typically don't do what most people do, but I'm gonna do it because it's a lot to get through. So if it wasn't for D Ford on the offsides in the AFC Championship game in his first full year as a starter, they reached the Super Bowl. Would you agree? Okay, so that's a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a Super Bowl.
Then you look at the Super Bowl against the Bucks. 3 offensive linemen were out. So he had me and you trying to protect him. Me and you, right? So now you go to 2018, he reached the Super Bowl.
I think he would have been a better offensive lineman in that game.
Won the MVP. 2019, he won the Super Bowl. 2020, he goes, he loses.
Brady.
2021, he reached the AFC Championship. 2022, he won the Super Bowl, won his second MVP. Now let's talk about his regular season. 16 regular season, postseason, fourth quarter comebacks, 18 regular season, postseason game-winning drives.
Unbelievable.
MVP 2, Burrow 0. Super Bowls 2, Burrow 0. All Pros 2, Burrow 0. 5 Pro Bowls, even though Pro Bowl now is not the same. It's just, it's not the same.
They send alternates.
Mac Jones is a Pro Bowl.
You could be the 19th alternate that got a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
He went last year with 4 touchdowns.
There you go. Joe Burrow won. Now, I'm not saying Joe Burrow's a slouch. The quarterbacks I play with, I take Joe Burrow's left arm and take him and make him my quarterback. But how can you sit up here and try to explain or communicate?
Yeah, there's just really no argument.
Call it debate that Joe Burrow is better. And please, for the life of me, don't tell me Patrick Mahomes has better weapons.
Yeah, not even close. If you put Patrick Mahomes on Cincinnati, they're going on a dynasty run of 5.
Okay, so
5 or 6 in a row.
Okay, but he is the tight end.
Okay,
I've never seen anything like him before.
That's okay.
He just
Gronk?
gets open like I've never seen anybody.
Have you ever,
Does Gronk not exist?
Because you've been around a long time, but have you ever seen a quarterback be able to operate with 3 dominant wide receivers? Jamar Chase, Higgins, along with Tyler Boyd. And then if I want to turn around and hand the football to Joe Mixon or check it down or whatever the case is, I can do it. Have you ever seen that?
Okay, I got it. Jamar Chase is big time, but the other 2 they're just very good. They're not great.
Oh, no, stop, man.
T. Higgins is a 1 on a lot of teams.
I don't care. T. Higgins
And he's going to be soon.
T. Higgins is a pro. T. Higgins is a 1A wide receiver.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to pay T. Higgins in a year or 2.
That is why if he ever
and they're going to lose him, and he's going to become a 1 on another team.
Tyreek, he used to be in Kansas City.
But guess
He's
what,
pretty good.
But guess what, Coach?
I bet T has a really good year this year because they're going to try and up his value.
For a long
guess
time.
what he did, Coach?
Yeah.
He wasn't in Kansas City last year. Guess what the Chiefs did? They went on and won the Super Bowl.
The same thing they've been doing.
The same thing they've been doing. With Juju Smith-Schuster at the main wide receiver position.
I need to hear how you argue
Miko Harmon, who else they had?
Miko Hartman, they had
Sky Moore.
Valdez-Scantling, who else they had? They had another young pup. Tooney, but there's a young
Jerick
pup.
McKinnon, Pacheco.
Oh, man, I'm joking.
Sky Moore.
Yeah. Like, come on. Stop. Skip, how you even gonna come back at me with that?
Yeah, I need to hear it.
Look at the Owl roster.
Pile on first, you can.
No. I want to hear. I want to hear
it.
Because when I unleash, I'm going to unleash.
But then on top of that, he was allegedly working.
Skip's gonna say Joe is better because he is Tom Brady.
That really wasn't calling plays and Eric Bieniemy according to a lot of people.
Don't let me go there. Don't start
unmobile quarterback.
I'm just saying. No, I understand, but I'm just saying. So if he's
unable to run the ball.
With all of that in a defense that he had to just literally bail out time after time after time after time. Come on, Skip, man, stop.
You want to go? You want me to go?
That's what
You're going to let me go?
I'm about to
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
go. You go, sir. I want to see
He's
him
about
hit you from the left.
All right. So Patrick was very fortunate to be drafted by one of the great offensive minds in the history of this league, and Andy Reid, especially as far as he runs an offense his way. And
Were you saying this about Brady and Belichick, though?
Because this kid's got huge talent, because he's got a huge arm, and he is an athlete because he grew up as a shortstop. His father played professional baseball as a relief pitcher, but Patrick's got supreme athletic ability for a man who now goes, I think he's 240-ish. He is a big man. And once he lumbers,
He needs to
can
be.
lumber down the field. So I'm going to give you all this. But all this stuff, all this sidearm between the legs, behind the back, nobody would let him get away with it except Andy Reid. And it often costs you because he will try just about anything at any time.
What does it cost him?
Okay, well, let's
Yeah, it's cost him
let's go
3
back
Super Bowl
to
trips
the
in 5
first
years.
Super Bowl. Let's go back. You weren't there yet, but it was the 49ers. And let's see what happened late in the third quarter. They're down 10. I'm just going to show you this just to show it to you. I don't know why,
Let's see.
but I think it happened.
What you do? Tell
which
them.
is why I'm going to show it to you.
Please.
Let's see what happened in the Super Bowl.
I was in this one.
Oh, you were in this one.
I'm in this one.
I forgot.
Yeah, I'm on the field for this.
Yeah, okay.
And there's me right
maybe
there.
He threw it to the wrong colored jersey. I don't know.
He
I don't know.
threw it to a
threw an
linebacker.
interception.
Stop,
Okay,
man.
all right.
Stop.
But
Stop.
wait a second. They're down 10. They're down 10. This is late third quarter.
So
I'm sorry,
what?
you were there, Richard.
I was
Then
there.
here's early fourth quarter. Whoops, he airmailed
That went
Tyreek
right off
Hill.
Tyreek's-
He
Behind
got
him.
air mail him. He slightly threw it behind him.
Hit him.
Way behind
He
him.
slightly
Changed
threw it behind
direction.
him, protected
That
the
was a
safety.
horrible throw, and it should have stopped the game right there.
But then you got this.
Okay, then we
you
got this. He throws a punt into the flat to Tyreek, and
can't.
help me out, Richard. What happened?
I can't.
And then he goes on to win the game.
Okay, but was it a blown coverage?
It was a blown coverage.
Yeah.
Patrick
Look at
Mahomes
that
has
pass.
a rusher right in his face, and he just closes his eyes and throws a punt into the flat. And
Yeah,
Tyreek
Keyshawn's so
stops
right
and
here.
comes back for it and waves
He
for
threw
a
a
fair
punt?
catch. He waved for a fair catch, and it's 3rd and 15. Third.
Did he pick up the first down?
3rd and 15? Are you kidding
Did
me?
he pick up the first
What's going
down?
on here,
It
Skip?
won the game. It,
No, hold on.
it
I'm gonna let
saved
you
the
go
game.
real quick. You
It's-
literally just showed me a clip
Okay.
of a quarterback protecting the receiver, throwing it right where he needed to, so that the receiver head isn't decapitated.
So,
Yeah,
so,
well,
so
wait
let
a
me,
second.
let me go.
That was like a 50-yard
Wait, I'm just
pass.
getting started. You told me I could go.
Please continue.
Okay, all right,
I was hoping you weren't
let's
done.
continue last year, just last year. There's a game at Indianapolis. I watch all these games, so I'm watching Mahomes, and all of a sudden, it's a field goal game at the end of the game, and I'm thinking, oh, Patrick can pull this one off. It's just the Colts. But there is a guy out there named Stephon Gilmore who happens to now be a Dallas Cowboy. And
Heck
let's
of
see
a
what
player.
happened at the end of the Indianapolis game, if we shall. He double pumps and throws it, and Stephon gets his hand on the football, and that's the game. He throws a pick to end the game. Nobody knew this. Nobody saw it but me. I think I was the only one
That's a great
watching
defensive
the game
play.
at this point. He throws a pick to end the game. Then, do you remember Buffalo at Kansas City? It's a big
He
game.
really just showed two
And we
picks
got
that were
all
deflected
kinds of
off the
stuff
receiver.
happening. I'm not sure if we have the order right here, but there was a pick he threw in the first half. Into
like they
the
were
end
direct
zone. If we
thrown
could
to
see
the
this one,
defender's
please.
hands.
Yeah, this is the first one.
I hope this is one.
Okay, he's rolling to his right. He's rolling to his right. Just eat it. Just throw it away. Just throw it away. I think I'll do that, and it gets picked. That's classic.
Yeah, that was bad.
Spoiled brat
That's
stuff,
okay.
Right? Okay.
I'll take that all day
And
long.
oh, there's another one.
There's another one. That ends the game.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll take that.
They got another chance to win the game, and he goes sidearm.
That's okay. I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take
it's
that.
just another one. And I'm saying, wait a second. Joe Burrow operates the offense more efficiently and consistently than this kid does. And by the way, the
He
first
has
3
10
times you
times
give me
the
all
weapons.
those stats of yours,
It's
the
not
first
even an
3
understatement.
times these two met and went head-to-head in the National Football League,
Doesn't
Mahomes
matter.
beat him. Beat him all. I mean, sorry, Burrow beat Mahomes.
matter.
Beat him all 3 times, and I've
It
got
doesn't
the stats
matter. How many
I'm
Super
not
Bowls
moving
does Burrow
you.
have?
He outgunned him every
Skip.
time.
Doesn't matter.
Outgunned him. He's
And
got
here's why it
Kelsey.
doesn't
He's
matter.
got
Hold on.
Tyreek.
Here's what it was.
It's my turn.
Because it's not one person in the National Football League that is drafting that would take that man over him, Richard.
Not
I
one.
don't know that.
Is it my turn now? Skip,
There are a lot of fools drafted out there, too.
It's like Brady in
You threw?
18.
That's it?
I'm through.
Like,
Like, oh yeah, they would have drafted
I'll give you room because that's a little.
Aaron Rodgers
Skip.
over Brady. Like nobody would have done
Everything
that.
Keyshawn did.
Yeah.
You had to show me clips in a Super Bowl that breaks my heart to this day because that man gunned.
I know
the
the clips that he brought out to show against Patrick
He
Mahomes
went,
were in
I
a
wanna
Super
say
Bowl that he
20
won.
Unanswered points.
Yeah, because your quarterback was sucking.
My quarterback didn't play defense. We had a number 1 defense in the land that year.
Were
And
you-
I did not play well.
Okay.
He went out there and he threw strikes. He
Yes,
threw
he did.
strikes. He ran the ball well. He executed well. Andy Reid, one of the greatest offensive coordinators to grace this game.
Yes.
His system and Kyle's system are the two that are in the league that are having success. But Andy Reid, before Patrick Mahomes, has not won a Super Bowl. There was not Super Bowl champion on his name before he got with Mahomes. You talk about my favorite things, peanut butter and jelly, eggs and bacon. They got together and created something beautiful. So as much credit as you give Andy Reid, you have to give Patrick Mahomes the same amount of credit because he's not just out there nickel and diamond. He's not out there just regular season. You talked about the regular season not mattering when it came to Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers got the
Keyshawn can't believe this is even a conversation.
What, this boy Patrick Mahomes, he gets in that playoff. He a bad man.
Really?
He's out there. When he goes to the Super Bowl, he's likely going to get the Super Bowl
sprained
MVP.
ankle last
Now,
year, and he won the
year,
Super Bowl.
I'll give you a little bit more. Did he get a little lucky in the AFC title game with that roughing the passer late in the game? Joseph Asai, oh my God, I feel so bad for the kid. He got that late roughing the passer, and that pretty much sealed the game
That
for the.
sealed the
But you're
deal.
going to get every now and then, you're going to get a little.
You're going to get a little luck. That's part of the game.
Whose
But
fault
you know
is
what's
that,
not
though?
lucky? Those two 5,000-yard seasons that he threw. Only other person to do it, Drew Brees. Touchdown time, the GOAT. This man has only been in the league 5 years. 5 years. He got 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and when Burrows has weapons, Burrows had a better defense last year. They
Oh
were
my
6th in
gosh, it's not
points.
even comparable.
Mahomes' defense 16th in points allowed. But it doesn't matter because you got Patrick Mahomes, and I guarantee you every man on that defense would say, hey, as long as we got him, we feel no pressure. Because whatever lead we got or deficit we have, we feel like he can bring us back. And him and Travis Kelce, you're not talking about a guy who we're talking about a Hall of Fame.
I know the Bills had
all-time,
the
maybe
Chiefs
all-time
down.
greatest tight end.
Yeah.
There's all-time
The
great
Bills
tight
were,
ends that
like,
call
2
him an
years ago,
all-time great tight end.
the Bills
so
were
you give him that. But he's done it with Juju
beating the Chiefs
Smith-Schuster
with
as a one.
13
And there's
seconds.
not a lot of guys who
13
would say,
seconds.
man, I'm picking Juju Smith-Schuster
And the Chiefs
over
came
a
down
lot
to
of these
score to
guys in
send
the
it to
league.
overtime.
No offense to Juju. He's a great player.
13
And he's
seconds.
had great success. But he had a lot of guys you wouldn't have picked on a lot of teams.
Yeah, and running back, best running game he ever had was the year of Kareem Hunt. Other than that,
Wait a second. In last year's Super Bowl, they ran for 158 yards.
I'm not talking about just the Super Bowl. I'm talking about over the course of the season. I'm
Okay,
talking about the
all right.
running game as a whole.
All right, but we're
And then-
talking about Super Bowls.
And then when you think about Joe Burrow, they played the Raiders in the playoffs, right? The first time that they got, the time they.
I think Skip knows
on the
he's
run to
wrong.
get Kansas City Super Bowl. A whistle was blown. The defense stopped. He threw the ball. They gave him the touchdown. It's luck involved in some of this.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of luck
Okay.
involved in some of this.
All right, but in last year's Super Bowl, against a defense that I thought was overrated all year because it's the Eagles' defense, that gave up 40 points to my Cowboys on Christmas Eve in Dallas, as Dak threw for almost 400 yards. Mahomes managed 182. I did not think he played all that well in that game by his
He had a high
standards.
ankle sprain.
And it took the 158 rushing the football, and it took that punt return. Remember, what was it, 65 yards all the way down to the 5? That was a huge
Kadarius
play in
Toney.
that game. Was it? Okay. It took that to take him off the hook. It took Jalen just, I don't know what happened. Jalen just
Yeah,
lost the handle.
Hold on.
you could probably go through all 7 of Tom Brady's Super Bowls and pick out something that made it
Not only is he
happen
going to Super Bowls,
and just call it lucky.
but in the
It's-
Super
like
Bowl
that's what
that he
that's what
wins,
Skip's doing.
He's playing against the #1 defense
Yeah.
for that year, including ours.
Yeah.
He playing against the #1 defense. They had 70 sacks. And he's beating them. Like, defense wins championships. I will live and die by that.
Michaelirvin's not
He
here to
goes
defend
the
it.
championship and plays the best the NFL has to offer.
Yeah.
The 2 wins he has, and he beats them.
One of the best
Okay.
defenses when he lost to Tampa with an offensive line that
With an offensive
was-
line that you-
Wait a second. You told me just 2 days ago, our first day here together, that Joe Burrow took an offensive line almost to win the Super Bowl.
Almost.
That was like the 3 of us blocking.
The
for it.
janitors,
Am I
yes.
right?
Yes, you're
It's
right.
true.
You're right.
It's
Okay.
true.
All right, so you
We're
gotta-
just telling
What looks
you
better on your
that the
resume, a Super
offensive
Bowl loss
line
to
in the
Matt
Super Bowl
Stafford
that he
or a
did
Super
lose
Bowl
Tampa
loss to
Bay
Tom Brady?
was completely dismantled, much
Okay,
like Joe
all right.
Burrow's was.
Okay.
But Patrick Mahomes has been there a number of times. Joe Burrow is not.
Joe
He's not.
Burrow is a-
He hasn't won his division, I don't believe
Okay.
yet.
But Joe Burrow is a
It's the
deadly
Arrowhead
accurate
Invitational.
thrower of the football.
Nobody-
Every year you know you're going to go
Listen,
through
you don't
Arrowhead
think
for the
Patrick Mahomes is
playoffs.
a deadly accurate thrower of the
Not
football?
quite as accurate as this kid is. And by the way, swagger, This kid's got some. He
I
got
never
some
said he
Aaron
didn't.
Rodgers going
I like
on, right?
it. I like the Cartier glasses and the chains and the mink coats. I like all that.
Okay. And if you look at college football, and again, I watched Patrick a whole lot at Texas Tech, and he threw some parties at Texas Tech. But listen, Joe Burrow, that last year, there's never been a season like this in college football.
I'm not
he
arguing.
goes 60 touchdowns to 6 interceptions.
Look at that
I'm not
team,
arguing.
though.
He had the two. He had Jamar and Justin
Jamar
Jefferson.
Chase
I
and
got it,
Justin
but somebody's
Jefferson.
gotta get them the
Hey,
football.
I'm not arguing.
Okay.
I'm not
Listen,
arguing that.
hey,
College football, he was the man amongst
was,
boys. Patrick Mahomes was with Cliff Kingsbury at Texas Tech for crying out
he
loud.
was.
Stop it.
I watched Baker Mayfield outgun him. They both threw for like 800
Man,
yards.
please.
Seriously, I never seen anything like it.
Y'all-
So, case closed. It's Joe Burrow over Patrick
What y'all
Mahomes.
better do is go get this man some Band-Aids because he got beat up.
Yeah, and I
Get him a drug
apologize
test, too.
because,
Yeah, we didn't
I
mean to
like
jump
you.
on you like that. We like you.
Yeah, I love your delusion, both of you.
I live in delusion.
No, that's crazy. It's not close. I mean,
Next,
Patrick
I'm
Mahomes
up
is
for this
quarterback
one
number one.
because do my Dallas Cowboys clearly have the best defense in the NFL? I've been
Yeah, they
trying to
do.
tell you that
You'll be
for
right
like
about this one,
3
Skip.
months.
No.
Absolutely not, man. You tripping.